Hello students. So in the previous class we were talking about the different types of measuring devices. Measuring devices which includes the meter rod, measuring tape, ruler or a scale is also there. So basically if you see these all measuring devices, one thing is common in them, and that is these all are divided into division. This division, it helps us to measure the length of any object. Later on, we also studied that how can we measure the length of a straight line or that of the curved line. If we talk about the straight line, so for that we can use any of the measuring devices. So we will keep the ruler parallel to that of the straight line at the one end, and we will mark the other end of the straight line on the ruler. By this we are able to find the length of the straight line. What about the curved line, student? We cannot use the scale directly on that of the curved line. So instead of that we use a thread. So we will put a knot on the one end of the thread, and then we keep the thread at the one end of the curved line or the initial end of the curved line, and then we pull the thread over the curve, and at the end of the curved line we will put a mark on that of the thread. Now we will take this thread and keep it on the ruler or a scale. So by this we are able to find the length of a curved line. We should also see the precautions while measuring the straight line or that of the curved line. Today we will see the estimation and its relevance. Estimation and how it is relevant. So before that we have studied the distances and how can we measure the straight line or that of the curved line, and every time we used to measure the thing to see that whether we get a accurate measurement or not. Okay, it means we can say that accurate measurement is very much necessary while measuring any of the object. Okay, so we can say that the different activities that we do in our life which include the measurement of anything, it should be accurate. For example, a doctor needs to measure doses of the medicine accurately. Okay, because if the doses will be not measured accurately, then what will happen? The less amount of a dose or a more amount of a dose can be dangerous to that of the patient. Okay, so the measurement should be accurate. Okay, then the time interval requiring in launching the rocket or that of the satellite into the space, it should be accurately measured. Okay, because that timing also it is very important, and that's why the objects that have been used for making the spacecraft, also the material that we have used to make it should be accurate, otherwise it will cause a danger. Or while preparing a map of a place or the distance, so the map of the place, the distance, it should be measured accurately. Okay, so these are the different things, different objects or different situations in which we do the accurate measurement, and here you see that it is very important to get the accurate measurement. But sometimes it happens that a small error may occur, or we can say that sometimes a very teeny error in the measurement may form. Okay, and this may result in the failure or in the problem, because you all the things that we have discussed right now, these all are should be accurately measured, and if there is any error, then it will cause any problem. However, it is not necessary every time to get the accurate measurement. At some extent, in while measuring some of the things, it is very important to get the accurate measurement, but it is not necessary for every time. Okay, so what happened at times, we can take a rough idea about the measurement. Okay, so rough idea is sufficient for some of the object. Now we can understand with this, that is estimation. That rough idea is a estimation. How? Estimation is what? It is basically getting an approximate measurement, okay, of a quantity. So we can define it that the approximate measurement of a quantity. So getting an approximate measurement without using any measuring instrument. Okay, we use the measuring instrument like that, or the measuring tape, or that of the ruler, to get the accurate measurement. But the approximate measurement taken without using a proper measuring instrument, that measurement of a quantity is the estimate. Okay, is the estimation. For example, while cooking, so while cooking a food, we used to cook usually making a rough estimate of how much spices or how much water is required in the dish. You never seen that the spices and the salt has been measured with the help of a measuring instrument, and later on it will get added in that of the cooking food. Okay, so we will take a simply estimate of the spices, of the water, while making that of the food. So what is this? This is a rough measurement. Okay, so this is the approximate measurement of a quantity, so it is an estimate. So whether this estimation, we can say that estimation is a fine art of a guessing, because here you are measuring an object without using a measuring instrument, and that measurement is approximately similar. Okay, not accurately, but approximately approximate measurement is there. So how this approximate measurement or how estimation is useful? Estimation, it is useful as it saves our time. Okay, because you don't need a measuring tape and then you will use it, so it will going to save a lot of time. Second, eliminates the need for elaborate measurement. It means the same thing, that it saves the time and hence it eliminates the that elaborate measurement. As well as it also help us arrive at a decision based on experience rather than the actual measurement. Okay, so estimation, it is useful in saving the time, and it basically, the estimation is very much correct with the experience rather than that of the actual measurement. So this is the estimation and how it is relevant. So this is the end of the chapter, and now we will discuss the question answers. So the first question, as you can see here, student, it is written that give 2 example of each of modes of transport used on land, water and air. So you see here the mode of transport that is used on a land. First, we have to write the 2 examples of the mode of transport which run on land, which we use for in water, and that of the air. So examples, the 2 examples, if we consider one by one. So on land, the transport we used on land, many one is there, like that of a bus or a car or a train or a truck, cycle, bicycle, scooter. All these are the different mode of a transport that we used on land. They run on land only. Okay, so this is the, you can write any 2, bus, car, train, truck, bicycle. You have to write any 2 examples of the mode of transport used on land. Next one is the mode of transport used on water. Okay, so many mode of transports are there which used to run on water, like that of a ship or a boat. You can write steamer, anything. Okay. Air. So examples of the mode of a transport used in air is aeroplane or a helicopter. You can write a supersonic jet. These all are the they used to fly in the air, so their mode of transport is basically in the air. So they are the example of the transport that we use in air. Okay, so these two example, you have to write any two example on the land, water, and that of the air. The next question is fill in the blank. Now 1 meter is equals to dash centimeter. So we know that student that 1 meter it is equals to 100 centimeter. Okay, so here answer will be 100 centimeter. Now 5 kilometer is equals to dash meter. So now we know that student 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. Okay, so what about the 5 kilometers? So 5 kilometer will be equals to 5 into 1000 meter, right? So 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter, 5 kilometers is equals to 5 into 5000 meter, 5 into 1000 meter. So this will be equals to 5000 meter. Okay, so answer here it will be 5000. Okay, now see the next one. Motion of a child on a swing. So you know that the motion of a child is on a swing. So swing is what student which used to repeat itself. So we can say this is a kind of a motion which repeat itself after a certain interval of a time. Okay, so swing what it if it is a kind of a to and fro movement. So if this is a point to start from here, at first it will go at this direction upward, and finally it will come back to the again this direction, then again it goes back to the same direction. So this is what it is a kind of a to and fro motion. So we can say that this motion it repeat itself after a certain interval of a time, and that kind of a motion is a periodic motion. Okay, so we will write here the motion of a swing is a periodic motion. Now motion of a needle of a sewing machine. So motion of a needle or sewing machine is also periodic, because you have seen that when we use the sewing machine is the silai machine. Okay, so sewing machine, then what happened, the needle which is present in it, it used to go up and down continuously. As the cloth it used to move, the needle it used to go up and down. Okay, so that kind of a movement is also what it is a kind of a to and fro movement, because it will go at first it will go downward, then it will go upward, then again it will go downward, then again it will go upward. So what kind of a motion is this? It is also a kind of a to and a fro motion, or we can say that again it used to repeat itself after a certain interval of a time. So that kind of a motion is also known as a periodic motion. Now motion of a wheel of a bicycle. So we have studied, when we were talking, we said that if the bicycle is moving in a straight road, then that kind of a motion is a rectilinear. But the wheels, don't get confused student, here it is talking about the wheels. So wheels are what? They used to move, they used to rotate. Okay, so we can say that kind of a motion is a circular motion, or you can write rotational motion. Both are the same. Okay, so the object is such that the wheel of the bicycle is such that it used to rotate about its central part. Okay, and as well as it remain fixed at the bicycle. So the bicycle it used to move, if it is moving in a straight path, then it is a rectilinear, but here it is talking about the wheel of the bicycle. So the wheel of the bicycle it used to rotate, so we can write here rotational, or you can write circular. Both are same. So answer will be rotational. Okay, because it is keep rotating itself. Now the next one is, why can a pace or a footstep not be used as a standard unit of a length? Now see here student, ancient time I told you that the footstep or the pace, it was used for measuring an object, but now we don't use it. It is because the size of the piece of the paper or a footstep, they both of them are different. Or we can say that a pace or a footstep of a different people are different. Okay, so the length measured by the two different person using their footstep will not be the same. If suppose a person is having a small height, or if a person is having a long height or having a large height, then what we can say that that person, maybe the footstep with the other person varies. Okay, and that's why it is not relevant, because what will happen for the same object or for the same line or the length, the two different person will get the two different measurement also. Okay, now due to this reason, the footstep or the pace, it cannot be used as a standard unit of the length, because it varies with the two different person, or it varies from the person to person, okay, of a different length. So that's why we cannot use it, although earlier it was used as a measuring instrument. Now see here, arrange the following length in their increasing magnitude. So now see here student, the first is 1 meter, the another one is 1 centimeter, then 1 kilometer, and then 1 millimeter. We have to write it in the increasing magnitude. It means we have to arrange them according to their values. Okay, means which one is greater or which one is smaller. So we have to write in an increasing magnitude. It means the smaller one, which is having the less value, will come first, and the other, which is greater, will comes at the last one. So now you see here, the first one is 1 meter. So what we will do, at first we will convert all of them into millimeter, because the millimeter, we know that it is the smaller one. So we will convert all of them into millimeter. Then we will compare their values with each other. Whatever the value will the smaller value will come first and the larger will come last. Now if we convert the meter into that of the millimeter, so we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter, and 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So what will the value of the 1 meter? Then 1 meter, it will be equals to, now see here, 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. It means centimeter is smaller than that of the meter. So centimeter, that is equals to 10 millimeter. So the 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. Then 1 meter is equals to how many milliliter? How many millimeter? That will be equals to 100 into 10. It will be 1000 millimeter. Okay. So that will be equals to 1000 millimeter. How it came student? 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter and 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So if we want to convert 1 meter into millimeter, then we will simply add the 100 into 10. We will get the 1000 millimeter. So this is the value of a 1 meter is equals to 1000 millimeter, and 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. Now if we convert that of the kilometer into millimeter, then we know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. Now if we want to convert the kilometer into centimeter, it will be equals to 1000 into 100 centimeter. How does it came? See student, we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So 1000 meter will be how much centimeter? So 1000 into 100. Okay. Now again if we want to convert it, then now this 1 kilometer will be equals to centimeter. Now again if we want to convert it into millimeter, then we know that 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. So this will be equals to into 10 millimeter. Okay, so you can understand it that the first one which we get it that 1 millimeter was there. So 1 millimeter is there. Then when we convert the centimeter into millimeter, so 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. 1 meter is equals to 1000 meter, and 1 kilometer is more than that, that is 10 lakh millimeter. Okay, so you can understand by this the value of the kilometer is much more than that of the millimeter, and 1 millimeter is the smallest out of all these four. Then we can write it that this one is the smaller, then that of the centimeter, then meter, and then kilometer. Okay, so we can write it like in the increasing order. We can write it here 1 millimeter, then 1 centimeter, then 1 meter, then 1 kilometer. Okay, so this is the one thing by which we can find that which one is bigger or larger. Okay, if suppose the number is not given, like here all the number one is common in all the, it means by looking at this we can say that which one is greater or which one is smaller. How we know that the millimeter is very much small? It means it is a submultiple. Millimeter and centimeter both are the submultiple of a standard unit. Standard unit is that meter. It means centimeter and millimeter will be smaller than that of the meter. Okay, now out of the centimeter and that of the millimeter, we know that the millimeter is smallest than that of the centimeter. Okay, so at first the millimeter will be the smallest, then centimeter, then meter. What about the kilometer, student? Kilometer, we know that it is a multiple unit of that of the meter. Okay, so kilometer is larger subunit than that of a standard unit. That's why it is having a larger amount or larger value also. Okay, and that's why we can write it 1 millimeter is greater than that of is smaller than that of 1 centimeter. Again, it is smaller than that of a meter, and finally that of a 1 kilometer. Okay. Now see here, the height of a person is 1.65 meter. Express is into centimeter and that of the millimeter. So right now we studied about that. Now see here, what is the height of the person? Height is equals to 1.65 meter, and we have to express this into centimeter. So we know that 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So 1.65 meter is equals to 100 into 1.65, okay, centimeter. So 100 into 1.65, it will be 165 centimeter. Okay. How it came, student? When you multiply with this, then you know that 165 into 100, it will be 16500, and decimal is after two numbers, that is 1 2. So now we will put the decimal, and decimal will be after 1 2, that is here. Okay, so 165.00. okay, so 0.00 we will not going to consider it. Okay, then we will write here the answer will be 165 centimeter. So if we want to convert the 1.65 meter into that of a centimeter, we will multiply it with by 100, then we get the answer, that is 165 centimeter. Now again, if we want to convert that of the 1.65 meter into that of the millimeter, so we know that 1 meter is equals to 1000 millimeter. So it will be now equals to 1.65 meter will be equals to 1.65 into 1000 millimeter. So it will be equals to 165,000. After two numbers there is a decimal, so we will put a decimal here, and answer will be 1650 millimeter. meter. Okay, so this is the way to find the height of a person. Now the next question is that the distance between the Radha's home and her school is 3250 meter, that is 3250 meter. Express this distance in kilometer. So now see here, what is the distance between the Radha's home and that of the school? Radha's home to school. What is the distance? Distance is 3250 meter. Okay, so we have to convert this into kilometer. So we know that 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. Okay, or we can say that 1000 meter is equals to 1 kilometer. That is the same thing only. So we can, if by this we can find it, or we can write it like that: 1 meter is equals to 1 by 1000 kilometer. So if 1 meter is equals to 1 by 1000 kilometer, so 3250 meter will be equals to 1 by 1000 into 3250 kilometer. So this will be equals to, we can write it like, that is 3250 upon 1000. Okay, so that will be equals to 3.25 kilometer. Okay, so the distance between that of the Radha's home and her school is in kilometer, that is 3.25 kilometer, and in meter that is already given, that is 3250 meter. Now we will see the next question, that is, while measuring the length of a knitting needle, the reading of the scale at one end is 3 centimeter, okay, and at the other end it is 33.1 centimeter. Now what is the length of the needle? So you see here, this is the question, student, in which the zero, we had not considered the zero. Okay, so how we will find the difference between the two reading? That is, now see here, what is the length of the kneading length of the knitting needle, that we have to find it. So at one end it is 3 centimeters. So we had not started with the 0. Okay, we have started from the 3 centimeter, and at the other end it is 33.1 centimeter. It is very much similar to that of the question in which we have started. While explaining, I told you that if suppose we will not consider 0 and we start with the 1 and end at the 6 or 4, then that will be equals to 6 minus 1 is equals to 5. Okay, so if there is a 0 error, or we had not started with the 0, then the final and the initial one will, the difference between them, the difference between the two reading will gives the length of that object. So here we have to find the length of a knitting needle. So one is 3 centimeter, another is 33.1. So the length will be equals to 33.1 minus 3 centimeter. Okay, so 33 minus 33.1 minus 3, it will be equals to 30.1 centimeter. So answer will be, the length of the needle is equals to 30.1 centimeter. So you have to write in copy, you have to write the exact method by which you are solving the questions. Okay. Now see the next question. Write the similarities and difference between the motion of the bicycle and a ceiling fan. So you know, student, what is the similarity? At first we will see the similarity. So the similarity of a motion of a bicycle and a ceiling fan is that both the wheels of the bicycle as well as that of the fan, both are moving around a fixed point. Okay, so they possess circular motion, or we can say they possess rotational motion. Motion of a cycle and that of a ceiling fan, they used to rotate, or they used to move around their own axis. Okay, and such kind of a movement we called it a rotational motion, okay, or a circular motion. Differences: the difference between the motion of a bicycle and that of a ceiling fan is that bicycle, it has a linear motion also as it move forward, while the ceiling fan does not have the linear motion. So you see here student, a bicycle is what? It moves in a straight road. Okay, so it possesses a linear motion, or we can say it is having a rectilinear motion also. But the wheel of the bicycle is having the circular motion. So the similarity and difference is on that basis that the wheels are in circular motion and the fan is also in the circular motion. So this is the similarity between both of them, but the difference is that the bicycle, it is moving on the straight road, so it is also showing the rectilinear or the linear motion. But the ceiling fan, it will not going to move forward, it will show the same rotational motion. Now the next one is, why could you not use an elastic measuring tape to measure distance? And what would be some of the problem you would meet in telling someone about a distance you measured with an elastic tape? So see here student, elastic tape, it is also a kind of a measuring device, but we do not use generally the elastic measuring tape because the elastic tapes, they are stretchable. So the length of an elastic measuring tape will change each time due to stretching, and so it will not give the correct measurement of a distance. Therefore, we do not use the elastic measuring tape to measure distance. Okay, while measuring the distance with an elastic tape, we get a different values of the same distance, and it is because of the stretching, and that's why we do not use it. Next one, give two example of a periodic motion. There are a lot more examples like that of a motion of a pendulum. It used to move to and fro, so it will repeat its motion again. Motion of a swing, or motion of a rocking chair, or motion of a earth around the sun. So you have to write any two examples. These all are the examples of a periodic motion.